What's going on, everybody? Want to show off a new deck I've been playing recently. It's very similar to like a Shuri deck, but we're doing the no Shuri version. So the main thing you're looking at here in place of Shuri is we're running Enchantress and Atuma. The theory being, or the logic being, if you don't have like a 0 into Atuma play set up or Sauron turns 1 through 3, then you can set up armor in a lane and eventually hide an Atuma there, or 0 and Atuma on turn 5. And if you do get Sauron and it deactivates your armor, you don't care, because in those games you're probably not playing Atuma anyway. You'll probably be playing like Mary and Red Skull and then SheHulk, things like that. And then like Lizard and Ebony Maw are other big things to fill out curves, like a turn 6 Mary and Lizard, or turn 6 Skull and Ebony Maw, or turn 6 Skull and SheHulk with a Mary and... There's a lot of options. Puts a lot of power on the board. Enchantress is good because I'm seeing a lot of Patriot decks lately. I'm guessing some content creator must have put out like a Bast Patriot deck, because I've been seeing that a lot the last day or two. And this gives us a decent answer to that while still being able to go wide. You can beat other actual Shuri decks just by stacking a lane and then beating their Shuri lane. It is not a good matchup. You just do have some play against it. This deck does go wide better than those decks. Shuri decks are really very much focused on 2 lanes. So if you can sneak one of those lanes out with like Red Skull, SheHulk, and Mary or something like that combined, sometimes you can edge out the win, but it's not like a favored matchup at all. And sometimes players can be expecting you to play Shuri, and then your turn 4, instead of being Shuri, you're playing like Atuma, and then you have power plays on turns 4, 5, and 6 instead of just 5 and 6. So yeah, you get to go wide, catch people off guard. So let's go get some games. Aim for infinity. Alright, and we have a Sunspot opener, which is quite good. Sunspot's one of the best openers because it sets up your turn 5 pass into Red Skull SheHulk on turn 6, and you don't feel so bad about it. It's just a good way for this deck to go. And we got the Sauron. Alright. That's what I like to see. Let's see what they got going on. They're just going straight SheHulk. Alright, let's see if XMansion is kind to us. We get Negasonic Teenage Warhead. That's pretty good, actually, I think. What do I want to do here? I could just Maximus. I could Atuma over here. The only problem is Atuma will get destroyed because we don't have access to armor, so we're just going to go for a Maximus for now. Dracula. Is this some sort of exotic discard? I'm a little worried about some of their plays here. Unfortunately, can't really do anything without deactivating my Negasonic Teenage Warhead here. What are the odds that they have like a 0 cost and something else to play onto XMansion? I don't really think I have an option anyway. I could play these 2 out, knowing Atuma is going to die, and 20 would be enough to sneak out this win here. I feel like they have 2 cards to play there. Nightcrawler. Okay, they have a lot of cheap stuff with this Lockjaw play. Gotta assume that in their hand is like some 6-cost card. We know that's gone. And we get the win like that. Exactly what we were hoping for. Sneak out a win in that lane. Sacrifice a Tuma. And honestly, this is about as mid as a game could go with this deck. Teenage Warhead held us down, but, you know, it worked out. You still were able to put out a whole lot of power. Let's hop into another game. Rocking double Silver Surfer cosmetics. So it's not ridiculous to think that we might see a Silver Surfer deck. Titania was their play for turn 1, or maybe a turn 6 hidden play. We have another Sunspot opener, which is pretty sweet. Sanctum. We do have Sauron as well. I'm gonna wait in Sauron first. Especially with Sanctum being here, I think it's not out of the question that one of these two, if not both locations, will get filled up. Okay. That's a great draw. Let's get Mary out. If they play Doctor Doom, it's going to make our lives a little tricky. I assume they're a Dino deck. Okay, we have Magic coming out now. Zero is a card. Now, unfortunately, we have no hope of, like, shutting something down here. I assume they're going double SheHulk plus something else. So 2 SheHulks would give them 18 into a lane. So it's a matter of what is their rest of their turn. So double SheHulk is going to be, would they pass 6 energy there? So double SheHulk costs 0. Maybe double SheHulk Infinite. So if they go double SheHulk here, they get plus 18, plus 1, so they get plus 19. They would go up to 35. We would be at 30 or 28. And if they just go Infinite here, they'd be at 23. We would be at 28. Guess it depends on where they put everything. Oh, they have 4 cards. That was not in my calculations. So I had everything mostly right. I was not expecting the Korg. So they get a 2-point tiebreaker victory, which is pretty close. And I kind of had to play everything out. If I would, let's see if I would have swapped things around here. Yeah, I think they had it regardless. That was a good game though. Double SheHulk Infinite. So they, what is that? 38, 40 power, turn 7, and we went toe to toe with it with really just Sunspot, and we never drew our SheHulk. If we had our SheHulk and we could have played that there, we would have won the game. So it really came down to us not drawing SheHulk. But that was a juggernaut matchup. That was great. Let's go get another one. Another matchup. That last game, though, that's how I like to measure a lot of my decks when I'm trying to figure out if a deck is good or not, is how well can you fight against a opposing deck's, like, high roll, or when they perfectly execute their game plan like our opponent did there. How well do you fight that? And like our game, it wasn't a bad draw, it wasn't a good draw. It was like, you know, a very mid game. We drew okay in general. We missed out on our SheHulk, and we missed out on the tiebreaker victory against a perfect draw by 2. In my eyes, that's like, all right, that is a good sign. That's what you want to see when you're trying to plan a deck. So that's just the kind of things that I'm looking at. Zabu looks like it could potentially be a Dark Hawk Mystique type situation. Let's get Mary out. Wong. Go ahead and cancel that Wong. I don't know what you're planning on doing, but if it's rocks, I don't want them. Next turn is looking like probably like a Tuma armor, maybe? Now, our best draw would be... They do have Shang, okay. I wish we had a little bit more energy. They have one card in hand. If they Odin here, it's a tie. If they Odin here, it's probably not a tie. This guy's no ability, right? Alright, the effect just isn't showing. It's a good game. They were real happy about that Shang, but wasn't enough, my mans. Alrighty, this will probably be the last one. Sakar wants to toss out SheHulk or Sauron. I would not be mad at him. They have a Human Torch opener. We're going to get a free Sauron. And they're going to get a free Craven. Okay. I think we'll just be energy efficient, get a little something something out. I think we'll probably go 0 into a Tuma, into skip turn 5, or just play out Red Skull. Okay, they've got Rocket. Okay. Now, how badly do we want this lane? If I go for this, we could go marry SheHulk next turn. I think that's pretty good. Because otherwise, we play Red Skull this turn and SheHulk, and that's 22 total power, whereas Sunspot would be 5, and then we'd play another 19, which would be 24 total power. So it's slightly better, and it gives us a better odds of locking down the vault. if they move, they'll be moving 9 over. I think this is the best play. This gives us a 10-point lead here, 6-point lead here, and we'll maintain our 9-point lead here. This is snappable. It was snappable a couple turns ago, honestly, when Sauron hit on turn 1, but you guys already know the philosophy on snapping during content games. Honestly, even this is Heimdall, we should be fine. I think. Yeah, we are mighty fine. So yeah, this is the deck. It is a pretty strong deck, I think. Does not need Shuri. Sauron is much more important, so, and I know not everybody has him, but if you want to start planning for things for when, if Shuri gets nerfed again, or if you just don't want to play Shuri decks, or if you want to catch people off guard expecting Shuri decks, I think this is a deck you can consider. But yeah, that's going to be it for now, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. I think like 75% of you that watch do not subscribe, and it helps me out a whole lot, especially in this super competitive game we are making content for. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.